All right, let's talk about something that gives pretty much every English learner a bit of a headache. Prepositions. Those tiny little words that seem to cause so much confusion. But don't worry, we are going to clear things up and give you a solid plan to finally get them right.
You know that feeling, right? You're writing an email or you're in a conversation and you just freeze. Should it be in the morning, on the morning, or at the morning? If that sounds familiar, you're in the right place. It's one of the biggest hurdles, and today we're going to jump over it together.
Okay, so let's dive right into what I call the preposition problem. To really fix it, we've got to understand why it's a problem in the first place. What is it about these little words that makes them so tricky? Let's break it down. First things first, if you find this stuff difficult, you are so not alone. It's a huge challenge for pretty much everyone, and here's why. The rules from your own language just don't transfer over. Trying to find a direct translation for a preposition is a recipe for disaster. So we've got to build our understanding from scratch. So before we get into the really tricky parts, let's go back to basics. What do prepositions actually, do? Understanding their main job in a sentence is the absolute first step to using them with confidence. At its heart, a preposition is all about showing relationships. It's like the grammar glue that connects a noun or a pronoun to the rest of the sentence. It tells us when, where, or even how something is happening. They really hold the meaning of a sentence together. So one of their biggest jobs is showing time. Prepositions like at, on, and in help us get specific about when things happen. In this sentence, at connects the action, starting classes, with a very precise time, 8 a.m. Simple enough, right? Next up, they show us place or location. Where is something? The preposition in here tells us exactly where that food is. It creates a really clear picture of the relationship between the food and the fridge. And the third big job is showing movement or direction. Words like to, from, and towards show us where things are headed. Here, towards tells us the direction the lions are moving. So there you have it, the big three: time, place, and movement. Okay, so if their job is that straightforward, why are they so ridiculously hard to get right? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Now we're going to get to the real heart of the confusion. The main reason these words trip up so many people. And here it is. This is the number one mistake that almost everyone makes. We try to translate prepositions one-to-one from our native language. It feels like it should work, but it's a total trap. Why? Because a single preposition in English can have a bunch of different meanings. Want to see what I mean? Let's just take one common, seemingly simple word: over. It's a perfect example of how one little word can mean completely different things depending on the context. Just look at this. First, over can show direction or place, like the plane flew over the mountains. Makes sense. But then it can also refer to a period of time. I worked over the weekend. And get this, it can also mean more than, as in, the athlete is over 6 feet tall. See? One word, three totally different meanings. This is exactly why you can't just translate. Okay, so we get the problem now. We know why it's so tough. But hey, this isn't about getting frustrated. It's about getting smart. So in this last part, let's lay out a clear, simple strategy for you. This is your path to finally mastering prepositions. This is the big question, right? If we can't translate them, what on earth are we supposed to do? Well, the good news is the approach is actually way simpler than you might think. It just takes a little shift in how you learn. Here are your 2 top tips. First, change how you organize them in your brain. Don't just memorize a long, random list. Instead, study them in groups. Put all the time words together, then all the place words, and so on. But the second tip, this one is the real game changer. Stop learning single words. You have to start learning phrases. Let's really focus on that second tip because it is everything. When a native speaker says the verb depend, the word on just automatically comes next. They don't think of them as 2 separate words. They think of it as one unit, depend on. Same thing with agree with or believe in. When you learn these chunks, you stop trying to remember rules and you start developing a real, natural feel for the language. So forget trying to translate. The new strategy is to start noticing and collecting these phrases, these chunks. So here's my challenge to you. Pick one phrase to master today. Maybe it's listen to or look for. By mastering these chunks one by one, you'll stop guessing and you'll start speaking with so much more confidence.